You leap left. A swarm of angry lead hornets passes mere millimeters from your side. Feels like they're almost touching your naked skin. You simply blink. Then something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The secret path. He could have just changed his shoes. The prints in the dust were his. Yes, of course, the 3 meters tall stick insect would be offended. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead hornets passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your shirt. Feels like the lightest of tucks. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives. Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. Interesting. Isn't that just binoclard for I don't have a real opinion? For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear like a piece of old wax. Those words again. You've got to find out what this inframaterialist stuff is all about. There's a joke here, and you know what it is. That's why it's good. Was that? Did the lieutenant just snort? That was a wink. Your good cop, idiot cop routine seems to have done the trick. If he knows so much about Oranje, maybe he also knows about Oranje's mercenaries. 2 airy upper guides and a mesk. Could be Eugene, Theo, and Elaine. You sense that the lieutenant is ready to say something. Don't let him. Fix this yourself. You did this. The handkerchief. Say you're not Pierre. That seems like a better idea. You don't know why. In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger. There's no way you can take aim and fire before she gets a shot off. Too late, Lieutenant. Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead. Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dom Center? Wait, what was it that you wanted to ask? Forget it. They don't sell those kind of books at crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach. Wait a minute. All this told us nothing about who Dick Mullen actually is. Martinez. Wait, mention the dead body. People hate those. She wasn't expecting this. At least not the word intraplanetic. This is the waterlock on the Martinez Canal. It has to be the same waterlock Lena mentioned, the one her husband crossed on his expedition. Wait, could this be why Morel hasn't returned to Lena? Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else. Another radio computer. Could it bear connection to the one in the doomed commercial area? See? Ridden with narcotics. Just like Andre said. That disco man? Must be a cell. Wasn't there a highly functional radio in that abandoned lorry by the roundabout? That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church. But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying, not so stoically, his hand moves to the gun holster. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Coffee in the back? Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies. The crab man. What does he mean, in part? Or search through her radio computer. Does it mean he witnessed the police raid? Wait, what if it's Ruby? Wait, what does that even mean? No, it would have been beautiful. Really tiny, thoughtful, clever. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers. Remember? You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. You have the revolutionary soldier figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Mr. Martin, Gaston also taught history and human studies to the Clear brothers. Okay, so Everard has a brother Edgar. That's something. But the rest of it is taking too long, my friend. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long. It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez. This woman may be running drugs for him. There's no way he doesn't know her. Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her? And just like that, it's happening. The roller coaster is moving. Too late to take it back now. A guy, huh? That's drugs. But will there be giant statues of the Clear brothers towering above it all? Joyce knew he was up to something. Somehow you managed to get yourself out of this one. Now quick, keep the momentum up. Ask questions. Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. Who told him it was you? There, the blinding light dimmed just long enough for you to see his true form. He looked like a regular middle-aged man. Fritta does the same thing. You know, this is something the cafeteria manager might want to know. When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses. The bookstore closes starting 2100. You'll have to do that tomorrow. Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list. She must be mistaking you for someone else. Wait, is she? This is definitely the same make of gun as the one that fired the fatal bullet in the murder case. It's not the murder weapon itself, but still, you should have it, just in case. This must be the giant ice bear fridge that Suna mentioned. Look inside. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside. See if it's big enough for the corpse. But where's the filament memory? It's not here. What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? You can always do it after the fridge. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Sandbrun 1147. That's what the street sign next to the church said. Questions? Did someone say questions? The figurines don't do anything? Anything at all? But I thought the historic figure she had. Yes, I thought it would be good. Yes, okay. Sorry, I was naive. Stop listening to me. Forever. Your heart burns. Through the blackness you feel the treacle of blood on the mattress below you. The Phasmid Queen. Quick, is that an Insulindian Phasmid? It looks like an Insulindian Phasmid. Quick, catch it before it scuttles away. Is that an Insulindian Phasmid? It looks like an Insulindian Phasmid. Quick, catch it before it scuttles away. Officer in the bag. Officer in the bag. Doesn't need to. Your shit is compact as a diamond. Plow ahead. Don't let him slow you down. That was easy. Worryingly so. Your eyes bounce to the young woman at his side, twirling her hair. It is light brownish and eyes are a random color. Of course, very tactical. This leads to dangerous places. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from. A punch is not imminent, but it's being cocked hard. This must be the pleasure wheel that Trant Heidelstein told you about. There's that phrase again. It really reminds you of something. Hang on. That phrase. You're suddenly reminded of something. What happened to the old headphones? And who are these boys? Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too? Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too? Feels like you missed something here. What was that about a bird? Forget it. Maybe later. Why does that trill sound familiar? O pasaro de hint. It flutters by your ear. The silver bird has already flown away. I will catch it later. That melody is oddly familiar. Why does it feel like some gang-related thing? It's what the Zemoyaki, the Gradian community in Revachol, call a person who never breaks under interrogation. It's an organized crime term. Why does that melody sound so familiar? Interesting. Come on. She must have known it the moment you walked up to her. Come on. This is all fine. But you don't have anything on Everard now. That's not how these things work. Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking ball. A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right eye. So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid? Must be. Even Kuno knew that. It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. Feels nice. It would feel a whole lot less nice had you dropped them. Or worse, got hit in the eye with them. Good thing that didn't happen. You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. She's speaking fast because she's afraid. Go into the island can wait. This is super important. Chill, my man. You'll get there. Eventually. Lorries, huh? You could check out the abandoned one by the roundabout. From bullets, hunger, shrapnel, kidnappings, and worse. He knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must be big. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers. She said the false passport would be for Anouk Maya Smith. Ah, this must be Gaston's handiwork. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that. What do you mean? Is that all? Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone. Wasn't he one of Suna's former co-workers? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? A pawn shop. A pawn shop would have a tape player. Remember what the rule book said. You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners. Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly. Hey, at least it might actually offer some protection against the sun, not like those cheap plastic shades. Did she just admit that the coalition invading Revachol was one of those contingencies? She really had that on the tip of her tongue. It's like she has the timeline laid out right in front of her. Did you catch that? A crack in her otherwise solid edifice. Hold on. You can tell she has more to say. Quick, hang up on her first. There, you really showed her. Wait, Humanex, humanitarian aid, realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man. A lady driver? Perhaps connected to Ruby somehow. Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys? There you go. A witness with corroborating evidence. It's Ruby. This is the one the man pointed to. His friend's lorry. This is the one he pointed to. The green lorry. All of what? The world. The present. There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby. This man looks like trouble. You might not want to get into this right now. Plenty of time later. This man looks like trouble. You might not want to get into this right now. Or you could look around. Find this guy's cabin. Check all the lorries. It's scary when cops are snooping in your things. No? Not sheep. Ostriches. He's right. There are other options. The raceman for one. Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two. Maybe she dyed it red. Titus said Ruby's hair is red. Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. In short, this is a future angle. Possibly a good one. Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin. Trying to hide a smile. No hesitation. He knows it well. Probably has the channel saved to his radio. Yes, of course, earlier, when you turned the radio on in his Kanema. That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it? By the pier, north of here, those big apartment buildings there. Was he speaking about his longer life or your shorter one when he said it was no cause for celebration? Hit them with a comeback. You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this. That came so fast, you can't but wonder what else she would be good at. Baseball? Ring-a-bell quiz shows? Catching keys in the air? petting an angry cat. If she used to working well and in rags, then you must have met her, evaluating your competence as a police officer. Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down. Then she put her hand back. Not yet. Not yet. She's not letting her guard down. Does she mean that you're not a person whom other people like? She means it. You better make your move soon. She knows about the tribunal. Tribunal? What tribunal? So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop, if it gets that tense, the amateur zoologists might not be able to do their job. What about the Seaman Retention Society? Wait, where is he taking you? And by essence, he means his strategic seaman reserve. A collector, that one. Personal trauma. Is he implying you were the one who got beaten up by your dad? Rene certainly seemed to agree with that. Now is the time to ask about the smell. Didn't he say that it is impossible to maintain an erection with the distinct smell of the coica? You really have to find out at some point what's up with him and the coicas. So maybe that's what's up between him and the coicas. Women? Wait. What if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? Wait, then it might be true. Everart's claims. Something just shuddered up his spine. This is all for show. He's already made his mind up. Careful. You can only do this once. Could that girl have been little Lily? It's not a bad place to start. This is the Cindy Misters Piss and Fuck said had the armored gloves. Played cool now. Something about skulls. Gloves. What was it? Maybe it'll come to you later. She immediately regrets telling you, but it's too late. Hang on. Could it have something to do with that strange inside talk the Boyadero mentioned? There must be about 200 real in that zip bag. Maybe a little less. Plus some change at the bottom. Didn't she have another medical condition? This forewoman, her name? This checks out. They're profiting from this trade. This one's a slippery eel. Your synapses flesh. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you? Nothing happens for quite a while. Your hand tires from making the motion. It doesn't. Wait. She just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected. Don't let her answer it herself. No, it's not that. It's... I have no idea. This is bad. A flash of satisfaction. She can use this in the future to turn the tide against Everart on the streets. Totally slanderous. Maybe you've gotten into one tiny loop once. You should ask the pal driver about this. See what she says. But it would catch her off guard. That's always an advantage. No, your mind. Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM. Transporting closure. Regular people just call it the cage. You should check the radio again. You should check the radio. That quick fire patter. Is this the voice the twins heard? Merchandise. Ask for Speed Freaks FM. Merchandise. So Gaston taught both Easy Leo and the Clare brothers. Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts? Do or die. There is no middle ground. That's what you told Rene. Perhaps he wasn't completely immovable after all. A glimmer of respect flashes in Rene's eyes. And it's gone. That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol. This was Cindy the Skull. Most of what's down there. You can also feel the bone where the bullet went in. Something very sharp, like broken teeth under your fingers. It's all gone. Open your eyes now. You have to see what's happening. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. The shot rings and you stumble. Something violently tugs at your shoulder, pushing you backwards with incredible force. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. A low shot rings. You feel a tapping, like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shot evenly from plate to plate. It's not easy. He has 0.6 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own. It's not easy. He has 0.4 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The Hardy Boys are screaming, fighting, dying. Someone jumps over you. Nearby gunfire shatters glass. Warm blood pools underneath you. It's sticky, and there's so much of it. A volcano of burning pain erupts from your left shoulder. The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. All right, we have a lead on the gloves. Here we go again. Was that a smile on his wrinkled? Never mind, it's gone. Your sarcasm will be your undoing, old man. She must be the woman from that picture. Jean-Marie again. He really despises that Drissant fellow. Wait, Joyce said William ran, and his nephew, Frizzle, was shot in his place. Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later. No, you don't. Just back up. Cancel this. Better to get off before it starts. Nothing left to gain here. What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing. Ha! Blam! Knew it. That pawnbroker, Roy, was into natural sounds too. Maybe you could talk to him. But that would mean... No, it's the cryptid. No, it's the cryptid. It's the cryptid. But that would mean it may be too late later. The circumstances change. Are you sure we're done here? Is what you want to say. You get to "you're under" when a warning rings in the back of your head. Did you get everything? Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot. That was him. He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership. Edgar. He quickly realizes what is happening. Didn't he say? And the Sucreant on her yacht? Joyce? Probably. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But this is what you live for. This is the shit. Of course, you're on the trail now. Move in. Quick. A motive, while the iron is still hot. Get one out of him. No, not shush. He could say he was taking the fall for someone. Disoriented. Tortured. It's useless in court without a motive. Don't mess this up. He could say he was taking the fall for someone. Disoriented. Tortured. It's useless in court without a motive. Don't mess this up. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Yes, ouch. So good it hurts. Those were not modern prints. It quickly comes to you. He must have climbed to the roof maybe. And the fact that she was a spook? How did he come to that? Wait, she was a spook? How did he come to that? One little thing. What was her name on the passport? Just curious. Thank God the lieutenant is picking it up. Thank God the kid is picking it up. It's blending into the tufts of reeds in the distance, moving from islet to islet. A cryptozoologist? Oh God, there was one. A cryptozoologist? Oh God, there was one. Warning! As you back off, the phasmid also takes a step back into the reeds. Something tells you the next time you engage and disengage, it will probably flee. Wait, so, yes of course, the 3 meters tall stick insect would be offended. A cryptozoologist? Oh God, there was one. The same rare brand from Land's End before. Interesting. Some kind of involuntary response? Something is slightly off with his motorics. His elbows rest on the frame stock, calmly for now. But he may still get it in his hands. Looks like he knows the weapon. He is still not convinced of his safety. You should not be either. Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology. What about the fuel you found in the MC? The red government-marked fuel? Yeah, okay. There's barely anything left in there. You have to find a larger supply. Of course. Anything else you want with this console? Wasn't there some in the communist students' room? Wasn't there some in the communist students' room? Wasn't there some in the communist students' room? Papers. Papers would be cool. Maybe there's registration inside, like a person registration. You know, like your badges. Don't let him finish the sentence. Now is not a good time to strike. He's looking right at your hands. Do something else. Get him distracted. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely. He'll be ripped apart. They all will. The moment the third man opens fire, and he knows it. His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw. His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw. His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw. His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw. A lost jacket. Sounds like a mystery you could look into. But what would it cost? Hey, your new personal brand strategist still hasn't laid off the drink. Even though he promised, a memory stirs. You've heard this quickfire patter before. Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. Wasn't Gar, the cafeteria manager, trying to repair a piece of taxidermy? He's not going to let you make a fool of yourself or the RCM in front of this girl. Not while he's here. Now, go for it. You didn't only get shot. Wacko natural. I think I know what it's going to be. And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Silence. Good. The man doesn't know what to say. There is no challenging the fury the kid is about to unleash. In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that. Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time. Damn. Now it sounds like you were just wasting time. Damn. Now it sounds like you were just wasting time. The houses, the streets, the motorways singing. Hold on. This is a fight we can win. Not Dora Dubois. And he said it. The kid's about to say he's Kuno. The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the next world mural. Those were recent. Then you'll be fired. This is a hearing. Toughen up. Here's your chance. Don't say it. He knows something is going on. In your head. Well done. You got it. Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten. Then how does she know you're here? The grandmother card will do the trick. Last chance to turn back. Or maybe. And he glanced. You noticed the lieutenant flinch and rub his forehead, as if hit by a sudden migraine. Absolute nonsense across the board. The lieutenant stops writing in his notebook for a moment. It's only a fraction of a second. But you catch it. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to ask about later. He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer. Wait, does this mean you've been in his apartment? On Everart's behalf? That was his colonial mug collection. Perhaps this could soften him up further. There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway. Gotta keep moving. Interesting. Something for later, this close call. She's seen it? What about his eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps. He's waiting for a reaction. So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary. He's waiting for a reaction. Watch out. Wait, who's Sweetie? What was with that fucking wink? Good idea. Maybe you were too quick to leave. He would have given you some if you'd sat there longer. That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central. You've been there. Remember, the little shack right by the canal? She was about to launch into an impassioned description, but stoppered herself. Why is that? She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later. The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky. Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet. Little shit. That's Kuno in the yard. This was good. Every little piece helps put the big puzzle together. She cut in so Titus wouldn't have to answer. So he knows of the doomed commercial area and its address. He's thought about this. Sounds like she has money tucked away somewhere. Enough to be a stable paying guest. By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later. Correct him. He's hesitating, not sure if he should share this information with you. Encourage him. You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager. That's actually true. You remember him from the corner of your eye, right behind you on the whirling balcony. He doesn't know. He just said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they? This sounds like something you can use to call this Sylvie later. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Actually, the graffitio isn't quite off yet, is it? She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener? Just keep talking. Put something on the table. Something incriminating. There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple. The lieutenant goes in for the leg sweep. Titus does not see it coming. No, he hasn't. Not yet. That definitely caught him off guard. In comes number 2 to take care of it. While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light. The little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Guns are stocked between the belts. 3, maybe 4 firearms. Although Fat Angus might be just pulling up his pants. Not sure. Hit you. Duck. Whoa. How does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful. Names are dangerous. Whoa. How does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more careful, karaoke star. Names are dangerous. Did she just call you Harry? These people do not know you. You don't have a name. Haha. Did she just call you Harry? These people do not know you. You don't have a name. What was with that, sir? No. No, no. You're a feminist, remember? Hey, lost gun right here. Lost and found. Look who's finally speaking. Ratty's been uncharacteristically quiet since you started theorizing. Maybe he has something to gain from implicating her. He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. You just showed him a breech loading gun. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech loading gun. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But who's doing this looking? They're all here. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head. Too late. There is an awful ringing in your ears. Your body temperature spikes. You're burning all over with fear. Suddenly, there's an awful ringing in your ears. Your body temperature spikes. You're burning all over with fear. Remember the 2 girls? He may be talking about the other one. Here we go. Jigsaw pieces falling into place. A cheap deflection, but brutal. This did not have the effect you desired, but it did something. He did not appreciate you blaming him for the murder, but then again you probably saved his ass later. So he says, again. Something in him is shifting, changing. He's really been keeping tabs on you, the Hardys, even the company rep. Isn't that written on your... Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you've said the words 1,000,000 times before. Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Must be that killer instinct again. The need to ask questions. It's like you said the words 1,000,000 times before. You're a cop, Harry. It is unnatural of you not to want to ask questions. So, the good lieutenant was looking for an edge, was he? You could say he's on the lookout. He wrote the Kun. How, if you can't even see it? Oh, it's more than just a classic. A must play. All serious pinballers have attempted a tempo run. Too bad no one was around to witness your triumph. It was a high score, after all. You didn't just win, you absolute legend. You joined a very exclusive club of people who've ever achieved this monumental feat. With automation-like precision, you keep the final goat ball in play, reacting to the tiniest stimuli, floating in the flow state. The fog is clearing, and suddenly the old speaker crackles. Wait, Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual. Of course, keep your eyes open for the killer instead. Let's go on. What are you talking about? Did you forget how to cop? There's a new actor in the investigation. Change the question immediately. Ruby? She knows something, which is an indicator of truth. That is a little strange. People don't usually keep things together under stress like that. Wait, the Hardy Boys said she'd visited them last week. Glenn and briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now. Wasn't the tattoo on the hanged man an Oranese map of the waterways? The thought begins to form in your head, then dissipates. Something for later. The victim's ethnicity could have been Oranese. Something for later. An evasive maneuver. Ask a follow-up. Harry, you're becoming soft. He's trying to throw her off with the bluntness of the question. A gape. Ready to catch a bullet. A coincidence. Make a note and return to it later. Wait a moment. Who? Me? Nothing. Someone else was supposed to chime in, weren't they? And then they didn't. Just me swooshing around in here now. Swoosh. By him, she must mean the victim. From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it. Quick, say something professional. Wait a moment. Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo. Wait, where's Kim? The man with all the notes. He needs to be here for this. You could ask either one of them. Remember the dice maker? Then that means someone left the door open. It was him. By accident or, like the private radio stations Noid mentioned, he could have just said he doesn't know. He means mañana, the laid-back striker at the gates. This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop. Impressive note-keeping, Lieutenant. There's nothing on his wrist. There's definitely something going on here. Maybe he's got them stashed somewhere nearby. In some hidden place. There's definitely something going on here. Maybe he's got them stashed somewhere nearby. In some hidden place. There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out. There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack, the one with the pig's head. You can't afford to take a hit from this guy. I mean, anabolic steroids and speed. You're best off dodging blows, wearing him out until he has a heart attack. Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before. Interesting. This tug of war has probably happened between her and Kuno's violent father too. Fast. This kid has got street smarts. Except Kip's. So it's a girl. Interesting. Be thorough if you want maximum results. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen? Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen? He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact. You sense nylon moving somewhere to your left. There's motion in your peripherals. Then it's already too late. You sense nylon moving somewhere to your left. There's motion in your peripherals. Then it's already too late. You sense nylon moving somewhere to your left. There's motion in your peripherals. Then it's already too late. You could ask the gardener for directions. What was that? Pale yonder. Do you know what the pale is? It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from. Only that it's right. Yes, the one in the apartment you broke into. Interesting little clue. Surely this will yield something down the road.